Hi. So this is an attempt to recreate an experience where I learned something, and I have been thinking about it, and I have a little visual on the post which will make sense to you soon. So a couple days ago we dewormed the horses, and to deworm horses, what we do anyway is we get a little syringe, and it's got toothpaste like stuff in it, and you kind of just stick it in the side of their mouth and squirt it in like this. And so I've done that to her twice, and it's not been a big deal, but today, or this week, I wanted her to know what was going on, because we're setting up for putting a bit in her mouth, and I want her to feel comfortable with me sticking things in her mouth. So I covered it in molasses, and pretty soon she was covered in molasses and I was covered in molasses. And what I want to show you is her level of comfort with me putting this close to her mouth, because I didn't end up succeeding. I had to just give it to her in the open. But I wanted to show you what I got. So she's very excited about the grass. Here is this.
I'm sorry.
That was I'm not very comfortable with it. I'm not going to let you put it in my mouth. And that was, no way, heck no. And so at that point, I was getting a no from her. That's a no. Let's try it again. Let's just do a little walk around. And let's see what she says again. Yeah, I know you want grass. I just want you to put this in your mouth. So that was definitely a no again, but definitely not as emphatic as the first time. So I really do want to keep doing this, but what I don't want to do is have her feel like it's this or die. Like we are going to actually put this in your mouth no matter what. And that is going in the face of ask, tell, promise, which is a natural horsemanship sort of mantra that was going on in my head when I was doing this. And so she's starting to get a little bit like, what are we doing here? And
I'm videoing eclipse.
Give her a treat and keep this close to her nose. And what I want to have happen is for her to like actually put this in her mouth. That's what I want. That's what I'm envisioning, where she's like slurping it up. And so that's not going to happen if I push her when she's doing this no thing. That is like, I'm breaking trust with her. And so I'm going to do this. Thank you. And I'm going to like show her. I want her to see what I'm doing. Good girl. Good girl. And so what she's showing me, is I can do that. I can sniff it. That's a yes. That's fine. If I like go a little further and say, hey, can I touch your face? Not really. And if I wanted to push it, yeah, see? Oh, good girl.
Eclipse is just kind of
In the way.
it's in the way. You're in the way.
So I'm just going to, instead of ask, tell, promise, I'm going to just keep on doing things that she can do and praising her. So she's letting me touch her cheek. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah. She softened there.
Yeah. And she's not afraid of this. And I want to demonstrate just the little different circles between green. This is green. Ooh. And this is like a blue. But if I actually get a little more aggressive, we're going to get into the orange and red territory.
Could I, as someone who doesn't know very much, ask something?
Yes.
What about if you're like, because our job is to take care of these big babies, and like, I mean to say, sometimes you just do things for them, like
that they don't want,
just kind of quickly and like it worked well with Eclipse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She likes that.
Yeah.
I just don't. I get where you're coming from. I just don't really. I wonder if
I'll answer that on video, and what I think is that is a really useful option, and often what we have to do. I chose to make this a choice for her when I started the deworming in my mind. I was like, I want her to choose, and so that's a different training scenario.
Okay.
Then, oh, I need to give you this shot, or I need to give you this dewormer today, or never. It was just a different decision. And so what I did, what I feel like upon reflection is I started with that as I want you to choose. But then when she said no, I went to ask, tell, promise, which means you never really had a choice. So that was a lie. You didn't have a choice. I told you you had a choice, but you didn't really have a choice.
Right.
And so I would rather be clear in my head before I start and say, this is actually not a choice. We're going to do it one way or the other. That's one way of approaching it. But those are situations where I know that we're going to deworm these horses twice a year. So it would help me to train for that. And if I don't train for that, it's on me. But there are still situations where you can't predict. You don't know that it's going to happen, and then you still have to deal with it. And you do the best you can in those situations. So it's more me being congruent, Heidi, is what I'm saying. Like, I could say, we're not going to have a choice here. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it as kindly and quickly and painlessly as possible, and that will work. What I don't want to do is say, you have a choice, tell me your thoughts, and then when she says, I don't really want to do that, I don't like that, I go, oh, no, I actually didn't mean that. So she told me she didn't like it. I did give her the choice, so now I feel like it's up to me to make the green circle of what she's comfortable with bigger. Yeah, and this is way bigger than it was. Like that there is, she didn't let me do that 2 days ago. So I'm just going to keep working on it. I don't need to be warm for today. This is just a use one. I'm just going to keep working on this because now she's letting me like rub her lips, and it's like a blue. And that's how we desensitize, right? And so there's nothing at stake here. Yeah, good girl. And I appreciate all those little tries she's giving me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah, because sometimes you do have to do things for your animals, for sure, and kids, and adults.